Okay, guys, that's the background. This is all the preamble. Are you ready for this turn? Here's where he drops it.
Yeah! My body's ready!
Nathan started his story with a jaw-dropping line. For the past year, my wife has been under the care of an exorcist.
Yes! He never disappoints.
Ron,
You know what? I've never had that particular fetish, but I get it.
Under the
have you considered Lancaster Marin, Father Rod?
Do you think that
He's
she...
just being cucked by some guy that wears vestments for their fucking...
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what are the odds that she's like, oh, honey, I would love to go, but I have to see my exorcist. I have to go on a cruise with my exorcist. He thinks that the ocean will draw Satan out of me.
My wife's exorcist, John Redcorn.
Okay. I don't know Nathan's wife as well as I know him.
Well, have you tried putting on a habit or something?
But I can tell you that she is worldly and sophisticated, even as she is devout.
She's worldly, all right.
She is one of the last people you would imagine having a problem like this.
You know what? It doesn't sound like a problem. Sounds like she's having a great time.
I can't believe I got possessed. I got 1600s on my SATs. Like, I love, like, that only bad people get possessed. It's very Protestant.
Which one of us is the least likely to be possessed? It's not Will. It's not Amber. It might be me or Matt, I think. Or Felix. I don't know.
No, it's definitely...
I think it's probably you. You would probably annoy the demon too much.
Oh.
Can you imagine...
You would shit it out.
No,
you would
I
get
would,
diarrhea and shit it out.
Can you imagine...
But I think Will is the most likely to be possessed,
Why?
honestly. I don't know.
You're so open.
Because you're a curious man, I think. You would be, when we're on this tour, I guarantee you're going to go to some antique store and purchase a strange lamp or vial and just be like, oh, that's cool. I just drink it.
Yeah, you're the nicest guy and you like antiques.
I feel like Virgil, like, he would get possessed, but the demon would, like, his internal monologue would defeat the demon. Like, all right, we need our living room water. That's got to be a different consistency than the bedroom water, because you're in a different...
Oh, Jesus is the Prince of Lies. Nice ad hominem.
Yeah.
Why don't you try some facts?
Yeah, Satan is just like, fuck this, man.
Pazuzu shows back up in hell, and Satan's like, you were supposed to be possessing that guy for a longer time. He's like, yeah, I can't spend that much time in the bathroom, man.
Okay, let's get back to Dreher's friend's wife getting plowed by a guy in a bishop's hat.
Okay, Nathan told me the story of how things came to this point. I won't give you too many details out of an abundance of caution. Is he holding a flashlight under his chin when he's writing this?
It was on a night just like this one.
This is the worst meeting of the Midnight Society.
So it goes, it turns out that his wife had an eating disorder as a teenager and tried to kill herself twice back then. Now, in the middle of her life, depression returned, but with certain strange characteristics that seemed
Yeah, maybe because you go to mass every day, you fucking freak.
He says, now in the middle of her life, this is what I love so much, like just imagining what this marriage must be like. And he goes, now in the middle of her life, depression returned, but with certain strange characteristics that seemed off. She began to despise religious things in an inexplicable way. Again, he said they go to mass daily. What fucking sane person wouldn't get sick of that shit?
I mean, like, I'm entirely sick of the fucking Marvel movies, and I see like 3 of those a year. You imagine if you had to watch like an Ant-Man movie every fucking day.
Which is the exact number of times you should go to mass.
Yes.
3 times a year.
You don't have to go to mass daily. There's no instruction to do that. Like twice a week is crazy.
No, I think James Joyce used that as like a footnote for someone who is an extreme Irish nationalist.
You don't
So
get.
unless you're in like an occupied territory, there's no reason to go to that much church.
I'm pretty sure you don't get extra grace for going to mass every day.
No,
I mean,
you're not
like-
going to go to
yeah,
a
you get
better
to-
heaven.
no, you get
it's
to
not
go-
like there's frequent flyer miles.
No, you get to go to the mezzanine section of heaven with the free open bar, like in here.
Can you
You're Catholics,
imagine?
it's all open bar.
Can you fucking imagine what their marriage is like? Like, I cannot believe.
Oh, you're gonna find out. By the way, guys, there's a lot. There's a lot more of this to go. So like,
All right.
I got to get through this. So she goes, when she went to a quote healing mass, there was a manifestation that indicated something dark and alien was at work in her. Catholic exorcists today work in a professional way. let me finish. Ruling out all other medical possibilities to explain the behavior before they start. The exorcism of Nathan's wife has not been a single event, but has required multiple sessions, which are still going on.
Yeah, Daddy.
The Exorcism of Nathan's Wife. That's a good porno name, by the way.
Nathan has been part of the rituals.
He watches and cries in the corner.
He told me that 8 different spirits have manifested themselves through his wife.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Damn, girl.
Yeah, a strange being possessed my wife and told me that she wanted me to make her come once.
8 different spirits have manifested themselves through his wife. He's been at this long enough now to discern which one is which. They revealed through the rituals that they entered into his wife's family through her grandfather, who was involved with the occult in a ritualistic way.
I hate it when my family brings their work home.
I love it when I just get shit-faced to watch Hereditary
Okay, but
then call Rod Dreher and crying.
But going back, when he says Catholic exorcists are professional, there's no such thing as a Catholic exorcist, right? Because they have
No, there
formally
are.
denounced exorcism now.
They have not.
Still do it.
They have not?
They
No,
have
they still
not.
do it.
Oh
No,
my
they still do it.
God, get on that shit.
No, they still do it. They still do it. And I like to
Don't
imagine...
make American evangelical Protestants look modern.
No, but like I said, no, it's more professional. It's like you show up and it's like that Looney Tunes cartoon. You and the demon both punch in and say, "Morning, Sam. Morning, Beelzebub." Very professional.
Okay. Nathan said that depending on which evil spirit manifests in a particular moment, his wife's face.
There's
Sorry,
Julio,
sorry,
there's,
no, sorry.
there's Julio, there's Dino, there's Patrick.
I need to finish this. He says, Nathan said that depending on which evil spirit manifests in a particular moment, his wife's face contorts into expressions that he has never seen in her, despite their nearly 2 decades of marriage.
Yeah, she's smiling. She's smiling. She's not grimacing all the time.
This is literally just describing being married to Robin Williams.
This is the worst thing.
This is like every fucking day, this poor woman has had to go downstairs and her husband has his back facing her and reading her the options for breakfast in Latin. This is just like, I wonder if anything about the marriage has her depressed. No, it's got to be the 8 demons.
She's basically doing like some sort of demonic fucking improv show. It's like I need one of the kings of hell and a profession.
Mind you,
All right, if you're going to be in the audience, don't try to take away from the show.
Remember, it's yes and.
mind you, Nathan is one of the least woo-woo friends I have.
Yeah, goes to church every day of his life.
Again, he works as what you might call a symbolic analyst in a very worldly occupation and lives in one of the biggest, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Advertising?
symbolic
I think that's
analyst?
advertising, right?
So he goes,
Wait, he
Yeah,
identifies
it's like
shapes and colors. Triangle, square, circle, another circle.
This guy's totally
rectangle.
normal.
He goes,
He
as
goes
long-
to church at 5 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and it's just him and Benito Mussolini's grandmother.
So he goes, he has been a faithful Catholic for as long as I've known, but not especially interested in that mystical side of the faith. Once you've seen reality through the eyes of spiritual warfare, he's told me yesterday, you can't go back. It's everywhere. Okay, here we go. He told me other detailed stories, including accounts of bizarre poltergeisty things happening in their apartment, and his wife being unable to stand the presence of blessed objects. And then in parentheses, a classic sign of possession.
Yeah, I mean, I brought home General Franco's skeleton for us to worship, and she hated it. This bitch is possessed.
Again, readers, he goes, again, readers, if you knew these people, Nathan and his wife, you would be even more shocked by all of this than you are now. This is the kind of family that takes European vacations and lives a sophisticated cosmopolitan
The Vatican
life.
is in Europe.
Yeah. This is the family who goes to Lourdes.
And yet, this horror has overtaken them.
Don't call her that. She's got needs.
The wife goes through periods in which she hears foul blasphemies and feels compelled to commit suicide. In the exorcism sessions, Nathan says the demons under compulsion from the exorcist speak of these things, in particular, how they intend to destroy Nathan's wife and her family life.
You know, far be it from me to endorse the Episcopalians, but maybe it's time to take a step down to a lower church.
Just like anything. Like,
Literally anything.
Just be a
Shia, whatever.
Be a fucking Unitarian. Like, I make fun of them, but like, it's nice to like, give blankets to poor people or whatever they do.
Yeah,
not
at least
like this.
at least they're probably coming,
Yeah. Like, the worst thing Unitarians do is like be on real sex
Poor
episodes.
people. Yeah.
This is awful.
When will she be free of them? The Exorcist can't say. The fight continues in regular sessions. In our long phone conversation yesterday...
Sometimes 3 sessions a day.
In our long phone conversation yesterday, Nathan says that this ordeal has taught him about the power of prayer and the church's weapons against these things. He knows that his wife is not his enemy, despite the things that sometimes come out of her mouth, and he is resolved to hold firm, to fight for her through his prayers, and to help her be free of these malicious, intelligent spirits. I like the idea that there's just malicious, dumb spirits fucking with people.
Yo, boo! Yeah, they possessed my wife, and she kept saying things like, yo, if I win the lottery, first thing I'm doing is buying a fucking limo and showing up to my old high school.
Nathan is the sort of man who would have been played by Jimmy Stewart or Jack Lemmon in a 1950s movie. Gosh, my wife keeps getting fucked by a demon.
Can you imagine that? That's the worst movie ever made. The Man Who Loved Church. Awesome, dude.
Let me tell you right now, my wife, she can fit so many evil spirits inside of her, you don't even know. This wife here, you can put 15, 20 evil demons inside of her. It's amazing. Please buy her, please.
He told me that having entered into this world, he has learned that more and more ordinary people like him and his wife are turning to exorcists.
That's a good sign for society, I think.
Oh, this poor
Like, if you want to talk like just like a gauge for how you're doing as a civilization, how many people are consulting exorcists? Seems like a good, short.
He has come to see the demonic attacks on marriage and family are increasing, and he wants people to know there is hope. But laying claim to that hope requires recognizing the nature of the battle. I don't know how I would do if I were in a situation in which I would be lying in bed at night and my wife blurted out, "I hate you."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I can't imagine a world where my wife yells, "I hate you," instead of just muttering it quietly.
Oh my God.
Oh,
This is the worst thing you. Oh my God.
Word from the wise, just pretend to be asleep.
Oh my God. This poor
goes,
fucking woman.
It must be a demon. Who else could it be?
I imagine you're lying in bed at night and your wife blurts out, "I hate you," and then started growling in an otherworldly voice. That's Nathan's reality now.
That sounds like
This
a
is,
pitch.
by the way, supposed to be a hopeful message.
That sounds like a pitch for a CBS sitcom. If he's a good church-going man, she's possessed by a demon.
If she is like, you know, depressed and obviously tremendously resents her Catholic psycho husband, if she's like as a gag, like, why don't I just pretend to be possessed and growl at him? She fucking rocks. Like this woman fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Coming to CBS this fall, My Wife, The Legion. By the way, I love that. Okay, he's lying. Okay, imagine this. You're lying in bed in the middle of the night. Out of nowhere, your wife blurts out, "I hate you," and then starts growling. I think what he interprets as growling is just the sound of her vibrator. She starts humming in a weird frequency that's...
She's possessed by 8 demons, the worst of which is named Hitachi.
We're making fun of these people, but I don't know. They seem like they're really enjoying life, though. They're basically living in a D&D game. Just coming back from the supermarket saying, "Oh, I think my bag boy was a drow."
That's Nathan's reality now.
What?
He is not afraid.
Wait a minute.
Record scratch.
Does this ever come back to the horse vaginas?
No.
The cow vaginas, rather.
Oh, you know, you ever do that? You accidentally like paste the URL of something you're jacking off to.
Because I honestly don't. I mean, I'm assuming he's claiming that these cow dissections are satanic rituals.
Yeah, what he's saying and with the prologue is that like there's just a rise in occultism and demonic activity in our society.
I'm sorry, but cattle mutilations are not the work of Satanists. They are UFOs. Everyone fucking knows this. Cattle mutilations are classic fucking alien activity. Listen to fucking Art Bell once.
There is a hard fantasy sci-fi divide in this podcast.
Seriously. Yes, it's a sci-fi versus fantasy world. And everyone knows that cattle mutilations are aliens, not fucking Satanists.
Why do aliens want to mutilate cows?
Look,
Qui bono.
They don't move that quickly, and aliens are lazy.
As always, the true synthesis of these two belief systems is Halo.
Oh no.
Where the aliens are real, but they're very religious, and are in fact named the Covenant.
I accept that.
Satanist aliens, you've got it.
There you go. We did
Cracked it wide open, Pollock.
Felix is the best Marxist among us.
I'm just a deal maker. I love making deals. I just made one.
That's what sublation is, just making deals.
Yeah.
That was his NAFTA renegotiation. Okay, so wait, sidebar. He renamed the NAFTA. Did you see this? He renegotiated NAFTA. It's a good deal. However, he renamed it the U.S., Mexico, Canada, and he didn't say deal, but you know that he wanted to. Agreement. He said the U.S., Mexico, Canada agreement because North American Free Trade Agreement was too bulky. He just had to list every country that was involved because he forgot. And you know he wanted to say deal.
Well, I mean...
Wait, hang on. Canada, U.S., Mexico, the cum agreement.
He did an acrostic.
Okay, back to Nathan. This is Nathan's reality now, and he is not afraid. He has to play
He's clearly afraid, and he should be.
Yeah, if he's not... He's either terrified or full of shit.
Yeah, imagine not being afraid.
Yeah, it's like, there are 8 demons and my wife who sleeps next to me every night, but I'm not afraid. Buddy, you don't really think there are 8 demons living next to you every night.
Yeah.
So
You're
he
just
goes-
rationalizing getting cucked.
He has to play his part in rescuing his tormented wife. Dude, just give her a divorce if you want to fucking rescue her from her torment. For the
I'm
love
pretty
of
sure
God.
Even the Catholic
Let this
Church
woman
would allow it
be.
at that point.
Who I should say, this is great. This is a great line from Rod. He has to play his part in rescuing his tormented wife, who, I should say, fully consents to the exorcism. She wants to be free of this too. That's the first time Rod has ever taken the idea of consent seriously.
That sounds like one of those poly couples where the guy's like, yeah, my wife is totally into it.
What Nathan's wife is going through now is like what director William Friedkin, a non-Christian, witnessed and filmed in his recent documentary, The Devil and Father Amorth. Okay, he goes on to talk about this new William Friedkin documentary. I mean, I'm a big fan of The Exorcist.
Devil and Father Jones.
It's a great movie. So he basically just goes on here to...
I got another letter from a friend of mine who met the devil when he went down to Georgia and challenged him to a fiddle contest.
Hey, really quick, in this whole article, Rod vouching for Nathan's credibility has just been, oh, this is a guy I am with sometimes, and he called me on the telephone.
After 10 years of no contact.
And and then this really just shows how American he is. His real vouching is he works with symbols. So he can't just be a crank.
Yeah, ampersand, percent sign, pound sign, even sometimes a euro sign.
That circle with the line through it that indicates you shouldn't do something?
Yo, my friend invented the tilde key. I love how Rod responds to like any stimulus at all. Like that's really like only child magic. I mean, I know he's not an only child, but it's like just anything he's given, he's able to create worlds. Like if you showed him Kingdom Hearts, can you imagine what he would do? The walls are breaking down. Goofy has met Sephiroth. Satan is on Earth. Like just anything would drive him insane. He's so awesome.
So that is the story of Nathan and his wife. However, if you're a fan of Rod Dreher like I am, you know the real gems are in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
First comment, your mother sucks cock in hell.
These are the sweetmeats. You know, it's like a Rod column is like a steak or like a fucking like a pork shank or something, and then this is like the fucking the thyroid.
These are the people who write him letters and call him on the telephone in the middle of the night to be like, Rod, my wife is fucking the devil. Okay, I want to read this comment. The encounter I'm about to describe happened 6 years ago.
Oh, boy.
I'm disabled and can't drive any longer.
Okay.
I rely on friends and paratransit for the disabled to get around. But 6 years ago, I still took the bus fairly often. A driver was moved from another route to the one I used most often. There was an intangible coldness to the woman which I cannot recall ever having been in the presence of before.
Okay.
This bus driver did not smile at me at all. She did not tell me to have a good day.
I tried thanking her numerous times.
I tried hailing her numerous times, and she gave me nothing. Okay, so he goes, and she enjoyed driving half a block past a waiting rider or stopping half a block short, particularly in winter weather, and most of all, if the waiting passenger was obviously limited in mobility.
That's a classic demon move. That's you know that's a demon.
I like how a report of demonic activity is just a shitty Yelp review for these people.
I experienced a horrible encounter while in middle school. A young man slapped all the books out of my hand.
God damn, imagine how many demons John Podera's encounters on a daily basis. My Schnippers order was half an hour late. Clearly the work of Beelzebub.
So she goes, I mentioned her to one of the paratransit drivers who looked at me with dread on her face. She told me that Frida, no kidding, was president of the local drivers union.
Yeah, there
and
we go.
People were afraid of her.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
We love Frida.
If you're a member of a union, you might be possessed by the devil. If you go a half a block past the stop when you're driving a bus, you might be possessed by the devil.
Any working class hero is now automatically a demon. A surly bus driver who's not kissing your ass is now a demon.
Yeah.
God bless this woman.
This kid who works at McDonald's jacked off in a cop's Big Mac. He must be possessed by the devil.
I just like the idea of a bus with a sign at the front that just says, "Do not accuse the driver of being possessed by a demon." So it goes here. One day, I tried a little test on Frida.
I threw holy water at her, and she laid me the
No, ever. I tried a little test on Frida. Before I went for the bus, I took down a wall crucifix and placed it in the inner pocket of my jacket. My trip to Walmart was uneventful.
And you know, it's one of those big Catholic crosses that's like 2 feet high and has a sad Jesus
It
on
looks like she's carrying a sawed-off shotgun under her like bubble goose jacket. So it goes here, no convulsions or shrieks from Frida. However, when the bus returned and I boarded to go home, Frida seemed incapacitated. She sat behind the wheel as though in a trance, and her eyes shut and head moving back and forth. This woman, whom I never noticed a human emotion, was moaning as though she was in agony. I know it's anecdotal. People can dismiss it.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the best part. I know it's anecdotal. People can dismiss it. Perhaps she'd just been assailed by menstrual cramps.
Oh, I love Catholics. I love them.
That's very accurate because that is literally how the idea of exorcism began. It was women on their fucking period.
It do be like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't even lie.
It could have just been menstrual cramps. But I wonder. Last, I recommend...
Can we, find this bitch and, buy her a big present or something?
Critical support for Frida.
Last, I recommend Hostage to the Devil by Malachi Martin. It's the hardest book emotionally and spiritually I have ever read. If you lack confidence in Jesus Christ, it's probably best that you avoid it.
There's been so much Catholic magic in the past month, like Supreme Court, Conor
Let's
McGregor.
find Frida.
But this is why I love Catholics, because they evangelicals, they're like, oh, we have to adapt to the modern world, and they're like, we made our church an app. But Catholics try to live in the modern world and just fit all their dumbass concepts in there, and just hearing them go about their day and encounter people who don't like them and be like, Satan, and see somebody with jam on their hands. Oh, dude, he's getting stigmata. There you go.
Yeah. Getting mad, making a face after you receive a 5% tip. That's the work of Satan. No, this gives me a deep visceral sympathy for Frida, because it just makes me think of the last real job I had before I became a podcaster, which was I worked at Barnes & Noble, and before I got moved to the info desk, which I was very good at and I actually kind of enjoyed, I was at the cash register for hours, and I would get so bored and frustrated that I would slowly just kind of lose it. And by hour 3 or 4, I would just be almost vibrating with frustration that I was there. And I would just be just angry, and I would just have to consciously suppress my desire to just scream about how awful this was. Just standing here and doing the same thing. It's it was the worst job in the world, because it was a combination of the mundane sort of factory reality of working on an assembly line, and then having to smile at people at having a customer service job. It was the worst of both worlds. And I just imagine if doing that, somebody would come up to me and started flicking holy water at my face. I don't think I would have reacted well.
When I was thinking this week, I was talking about different dumb liar guys with my friends, and I was thinking about this guy who, at my old job of being a bouncer, who he would come to when I would bounce in the back near the bathroom, he would just hang out there, and he was the type of dumb liar guy who befriends the management of a bar, so you really can't tell him to fuck off.
What's wrong with that? That's cool.
And he would
You get free drinks.
Every time.
Yeah, he's literally disrupted being a bar patron.
Yeah, he's And one,
Except it's, yeah, she's singing.
no, there was one time, the most distinct memory I have of him is this woman like said, "Oh, hi," whatever the fuck this guy's name was. And when she was out of earshot, he goes, "Yeah, dude, I almost fucked her, but then my friend texted me that she had herpes, and I just left." And it's great because that story's a lie. Like, why would you lie about that? But it was just 6-7 hours of a time of these like mind-numbing interactions. And yeah, I would just stare at one point on like a outlet plug for 5 hours, just being like,
This is
"No, you can't
Felix's-
kill yourself just because you feel like this now. There's like the rest of your life."
This is Felix's version of once I had a job.
It's been a while.
I had this idea the other day. We all love Rod, and we all love we all love Rod, and we all love the letters that people write to Rod that he includes as postscripts
The real Rod
on
has.
his articles. And I wanted to do this kind of long-term troll where I would endear myself to Rod by just writing him an email saying, "Oh, I'm a good Catholic. I go to Mass 24/7. I live in Mass. And, I just got some issues going on." And basically just write him inane letters that seem plausible. And I mean, like, most of these don't seem plausible. And just eventually it devolves and just starts including quotations from Chairman Mao. And I would encourage all of you to just do that. Everybody, if you have some free time, just befriend Rod.
Oh,
just tell him
totally.
what's on your mind, but make everything magical, Like, you're really mad at your boss, but your boss is secret gremlin. Why not?
All right, guys. That was William Menaker presents Chapo Trap House, The Exorcist, starring Rod Dreher and Nathan. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That is it for us tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Pittsburgh, you guys fucking rock.